Hey everybody, this is Mr. Mike's Art and I am Mr. Mike. Welcome to my channel. Hopefully I can entertain you with some drawings. I'm hoping that's why you found my channel. We can do some drawings, some inks. We can play with art, talk about art, have some fun, and maybe grow. Hopefully I can give you some tips, or you can just enjoy what I do. And please let me know in the comments if you have any ideas on things you would like to see me draw. We can draw together. You can draw while I'm filming me drawing. We can have some fun. Let's do that. Let's just have some fun with art. And gonna let you get on to the video. Y'all take care. All right, everybody. Before we get started, just wanted to go over these pencils I use. Some of you may or may not know about them, but I needed to put this in the video anyways. As you can see, the brand I typically use is called Faber-Castell. See if I can get some focus on here. Faber-Castell. This comes in a pack. You can get it from stores like Hobby Lobby. And they used to sell it where it came in a nice case that you could carry it around with. Now, when I'm out drawing just for fun, I usually use a cheap old mechanical pencil, number 2. Don't worry about it. But anytime when you were in school, you heard about a number 2 pencil, they were generally talking about a 2B. So you got these hardnesses. So in this videos, any of my videos, you're going to hear me talking about these different hardnesses, and I will try to let you know which one I'm using at the time. But basically, your ghost drawings, you're going to be using that 4H. Just think of it as hard, okay? You got to be careful with that pencil. It will scar the paper, and when you go to try to shade over it, it will very likely leave a ghost line wherever it is. I probably should just give you an example. But something else too is, if you notice, I have a number of doubles. So like I have these two 2Bs right here, right? But let's look at their tips. So this one is pretty sharp. This one is rounded. That rounded one is more for shading. And this sharp point one, and that's just a matter of wearing the pencil. I guess, truthfully, this video should be how to use your pencils. So like, if you have this guy, now I'm going to zoom out here, guys. We don't need to be that close. So if you have that guy, and he's too sharp, right? Well, you can put him in this paper, and this is just a Post-it, and buffalo those edges. But there's going to be times where you don't want this buffalo. You're going to want something that's going to get in there, like if you're doing an eyelid or something, you need this sharp point. And so it doesn't hurt on the ones you know you're going to use a lot. It doesn't hurt to have multiples of that one you know you're going to use a lot, okay? And then doing things like this. But at the end of the day, what this does is, I can use this 2B, but this 2B will never, on its best day, get as dark as this 6B will get. And even this 4H, it will always appear almost grayer than the rest of these. But when you look at those leads, they all look the same. But anyways, that's just my pencils. I have no affiliate links. I have none of that stuff. This is just what I use. For most of my youth, I never knew these pencils existed in this level. I don't think I even had an art class before I got into, I may have had 1 or 2 art classes prior to getting into a really good school. When I was young, I got into a advanced visual art school in high school. And this is one of the first things, shamefully, that I had to learn was just about these pencils. And it had never been taught to me. So it might not have been taught to you either. So anyways, I hope that helps, and we'll get into some videos here in a minute, and I'll probably tag this pencil thing at the end of a lot of my videos, so that if somebody's just now watching and coming in at the end of the video, there'll be more of this tutorial versus putting it at the front when you're really wanting to see me draw something else. All right. I hope y'all like and subscribe. I hope just showing you this helps to some degree, but basically the H's, the bigger the number of the H, the lighter it is. The bigger the number of the B, the darker it is. And so it goes all the way to HB and B. That's the middle, is HB and B. And then you go up and down from there, okay? If I remember correct. I just use them, and I know which ones I need. And truthfully, you don't need all of these. I very rarely use a 6B. I very rarely use a 6H, even though there's one out there. Nobody uses it. Well, I don't know anybody that uses it. The reason I say this is so like this. So like you're going to take this 4H. So you can barely see that, right? But look, I can work my shapes. And I can say, oh, so I can get my circle. You've seen people do the faces and stuff like that, where they're like this. We're going to do a comical drawing real quick. But see, I just getting the shape of the eyes, shoulder. Then I would come in with, say, my H. And then I can refine those lines. See that? Come in. They're starting to become a little more visible, right? And then I come in with my B. See, that's a lot darker, right? I just went from that to a B, and you can see, you're starting to see things better, right? Put some shading in here. We're not doing an actual drawing. I'm just giving you an idea of the reason for some of these pencils. But then let's come in here with the 6B. Look how dark that is. And you can barely see those other lines. And then you can come in and clean up those ghost lines we did that are just ghost. See that? And then the other thing somebody will do is you can come in with that 4H. And say you're going to be drawing a shoulder on somebody. We're drawing a comic. We're doing some kind of comic book or something. So we want to get that muscle stuff in there, some elbow joints. You get those in, and then that's when you come in with an ink pen. And then you just follow the lines you need, right? And I'm just doing this quick. This is not typical art. But see, you come in and you ink it like that, and this is a horrible drawing, but nonetheless, you know, you come in and you ink it, and then you come right back and erase all those pencil lines. See that? But anyways, this is just to let you know about the pencils. And if you're wanting to try to get better at inking, you can come in and pencil. Another thing people use is a non-photo blue, but you'll probably never see me use a non-photo blue. But you can come in and pencil your stuff, and then you can come in and do that. So basically, you're tracing your own art. That's the way to think about it, is you're tracing your own art. You start light. Always start light and move darker. Don't start dark and move light. Always start light and move darker. And as you're progressing, you can do some shading with this 4H. And you don't have to worry about how perfect the pencil marks are. I wouldn't shade with the 4H because of how it can burn. It can burn the paper with lines. So then you can come in with the H, and the H will kind of fill in some of that. Get rid of some of those squirrely lines. By the way, this is just copy paper. You do not need fancy paper to have fun with art. Okay, that's that 6B. I better watch out and not hit that yet. But see, you just keep coming in, and it's just, you just keep getting darker and darker. You just keep coming. But those pencils will transform your ability to shade, your ability to draw, your ability to bring emphasis. That was a B I just came in there with. And now I'm coming oh, that's a 2H. I don't want to use that. Then I'm going to come in with my HB. Get it a little darker. Like that. Now we're going to come in with the 2. We're just going to keep. And you see what I mean? Like all those little gaps in the drawing, they start getting filled in as you go. And now I'm going to jump to a 6B. Those pencils start filling in pencils. So you don't need to worry about getting it perfect right away. You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about making it dark. And here's something else. If you just come in and only try to shade with this 6B without doing those layers, this is what will happen. I'm going to do this over here so you can see it. And now I'm going to zoom in and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So I'm not putting a lot of pressure. By the way, none of these pencils are you having to put a lot of pressure. Okay, let's zoom in here. That's as far as it's going to let me zoom in. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll get it up here. Let me get it up here so you can see it. And you're going to experience this. It won't let me focus that close. I don't have a macro. See all those little gaps in there? I don't know if you can see that or not. All those little gaps in the pencil. Versus that, you can see how it's not quite filled in. We could do some more. We could do a lot more. But this side, you see all the holes. And that's with that dark 6B. But because I didn't layer, I couldn't get it quite dark enough. But there's some things you can do to get rid of stuff like that. Like take your finger, like my fat finger, and you come in here and rub. And it'll kind of spread that pencil. Depending on your paper, you're still going to have some graininess, right? You're still going to have some graininess, so you know, it's at the end of the day, that's what drawing is. But anyways, this is pencils, and it will help you grow as an artist. It won't cost you much money. I'm a fan of the Faber-Castells. I understand that they're not always easy to find, but I like them. They used to be real easy to find. Just of lately, I haven't been seeing them, but you can go on Amazon, wherever. I'm sure you can find some Faber-Castells somewhere. They will last you a very long time. They will last you a very long time. Good pencils. And it will give you those gradations that you can play with and have some fun. So I hope everybody gets some use out of this. I hope y'all like and subscribe. And also let me know in the comments what you would like to see me draw. And if it's something that's up my alley, I'll draw it. How about that? Y'all take care now.